this tutorial, I've decided to use Lion Brand's Twisted Cotton Blend. It is a size 5 bulky weight yarn, but really it's very similar to a size 4, and you could interchange them. It has about 98 yards, and you'll need one ball of this. I'm using this for my contrasting color. For the body of the bag, I'm going to use this Peaches and Cream Original Cotton. It's 100% cotton. It is a size 4 worsted weight cotton. It is in the color Ecru, and you will need 2 of these. We will start off with our contrasting color in this particular project. To begin, you will need to chain 21. In the second chain from your hook, make 1 single crochet. Make a single crochet in every chain stitch following. By the end of this row, you should have 20 single crochet. Here I am at the end. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Put 1 single crochet in every stitch across. You're just going to repeat that last row for a total of 9 rows, and once you've completed that, I will meet you back here. So this is what your piece should look like. You should have 9 rows of 20 single crochet, and we're going to fasten off of our contrasting color. And go ahead and grab your main color that you chose for the body of your bag and join where you left off. We are going to begin our mesh pattern. To begin, you need to chain 6. This beginning chain 6 will count as 1 double crochet and a chain 3 space. Double crochet in the very next stitch. Chain 3. Double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 3. Double crochet in the next stitch. You should see the pattern forming here. In this row, you are just simply going to chain 3 and double crochet in the next stitch. Just repeat that all the way across. By the end of this row, you should have 20 double crochet and 19 chain 3 spaces. This is what your piece should look like when you are finished with this row. Now we're going to start the next row, so chain 6. This beginning chain 6 counts as a double crochet and a chain 3 space. Turn your work. Skip over the next chain 3 space and double crochet in the top of the next double crochet. Chain 3. Skip the next chain 3 space and double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 3. Skip the next chain space and double crochet in the next double crochet. You are simply going to repeat this all the way across, and this is what your piece should be looking like. And once you reach the end, I will meet you there. Here we are at the end. I've made my last double crochet in chain 3 space. I'm skipping the last chain 3 space, and I wanted to show you, be sure that you don't forget to put a double crochet in the top of your beginning chain in the 3rd chain. Otherwise, you will accidentally decrease. So this is what your piece should look like. It'll be ruffling up, but it will eventually fan out. To begin the next row, you are going to chain 5 this time. This beginning chain 5 will count as a double crochet and a chain 2 space. Turn your work. In the very first chain space, you are going to make a single crochet. Chain 2. In the next double crochet, you are going to make a double crochet. Chain 2. In the next chain space, you're going to single crochet. Chain 2, double crochet in the next double crochet. So essentially in every chain 3 space you're going to make a single crochet, and in every double crochet you're going to make a double crochet, and you're going to be separating these stitches by a chain 2 space. So you're just going to repeat this all the way across, and I will meet you at the end. So here we are at the last couple of stitches, so we'll chain 2, single crochet in the chain space, and chain 2. And our last double crochet should be in the 3rd chain of our beginning chain below. It's very important that you don't forget to make this last stitch so you don't accidentally decrease. This is what your piece should look like. You should have these little peaks and valleys here. This is one of our repeating rows, so I hope you paid close attention. The next row we will be doing is the next repeating row, so you will chain 6. This beginning chain 6 will count as a double crochet and a chain 3 space. Turn your work. You're going to skip over the first few chain spaces in single crochet until you get to the next double crochet. And you're going to make a double crochet in that next double crochet. That's what it should look like. Chain 3, skip to the next double crochet, and make a double crochet in the top of it. This row is really easy to remember. You're just going to chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet. Just repeat this all the way across, making a double crochet in the top of every double crochet and chaining 3 in between each one. And I will meet you at the end. So here I am at the end. You want to chain 3, and in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain below, you are going to want to put your last double crochet. This is what your piece should be looking like. You're just going to repeat these last 2 rows that we just did over and over until you have a total of 39 rows. Make sure you're counting the first 9 rows that we did of the contrasting color. But you want a total of 39 rows, or until it measures the length that you want. And be sure to end on the double crochet chain 3 row. So here I have a total of 39 rows, and I wanted to show you about what this body part is measuring. So the mesh part is measuring about 20 inches, maybe just a little over, or about 51 centimeters in length. That's just the mesh part, not including the single crochet rows. So before we repeat the single crochet rows to this other side, I'm going to do one more row to sort of bring it together. Chain 3. This beginning chain 3 will count as one double crochet stitch. Skip over the next chain 3 space and double crochet in the next double crochet. Skip over the next chain 3 space and double crochet in the next double crochet. You're just going to make one double crochet in the top of every double crochet in this row. We are not chaining any in between. This is going to sort of draw it together. So just continue making a double crochet in every double crochet stitch across, and I'll meet you at the end. So here I am at the end. You're going to skip over this last chain 3 space, and in the third chain of our beginning chain below, you're going to make your last double crochet. At the end of this row, you should have only 20 double crochet, so be sure to count and make sure you didn't accidentally increase or decrease. So this sort of just drew it up for us, and we are done with our main color for now. So go ahead and fasten off. And turn your work and then join where you left off with your contrasting color. Now you're just going to chain 1 and make 1 single crochet in every stitch across. Again, you should only have 20 stitches by the end of this row. So you're going in each double crochet stitch, making 1 single crochet across. So just continue making 1 single crochet in each stitch across, and I'll meet you at the end. Don't forget about this chain 3 below that we started with. Make sure that you make a single crochet in the top of the third chain. Count and make sure you have 20 single crochet. Now just like we did on the opposite end, we've got 9 rows of 20 single crochet. We are going to repeat that on this end. So you're going to chain 1 and turn and put 1 single crochet in all 20 stitches across, and you're going to do that for 9 rows total. So go ahead and complete 9 rows of 20 single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end. This is what your piece should be looking like, starting to take shape of the bag. We are not going to fasten off, we are just going to continue working in the round, starting with the handles. So here's where we left off. This is what it should look like. And the first thing we are going to do is turn our work. So go ahead and turn your piece facing the opposite direction. We are going to make our strap and work the other direction. So you can chain however many you want, but for my bag and for the amount of yardage that I recommend, you need to chain 70. Once you have 70, you're going to skip over the 20 single crochet below, and beginning in the sides of the rows, we are going to make a single crochet in each of those 9 rows. So make 1 single crochet in the side of each of those 9 rows of single crochet. This is what it should look like. Now we're going to continue on working around the body of the bag. In order to cinch it up and make it into a bag, we are going to just make one single crochet around each double crochet post of each row. So beginning with this double crochet, just make one single crochet and then go around each post, only making one single crochet per row. So just continue making one single crochet in each row until you reach this other side. So here I am. I'm going to repeat what I did on the other side and just make one single crochet in each of these 9 rows. So you should have 9 single crochet there, and we are just going to repeat the process one more time. So now we're going to be working this direction. We're going to make our chain 70 for the strap, and then working down the side of these 9 rows, you're going to make one single crochet, and then continue making one single crochet per row of the bag body, and then of course up these 9 rows here where we started. So this is what your piece should be looking like, starting to take shape. Now we are going to be working in the continuous round. So you need to grab a stitch marker. You are going to need it. You're just going to be working in the continuous round around the entire bag. I wanted to mention that you can't tell in this particular yarn, but I am going to be working into what I call the back hump of the chain stitches. It just makes it look a little bit cleaner, but the main thing is you don't want to twist your chain. So go ahead and put your first single crochet in the first stitch of your chain 70 and mark that stitch. You don't want to lose your place. Now put one single crochet in every chain stitch of the strap, making sure you don't twist your chain. So you're just going to continue putting one single crochet in every chain stitch of both of the straps, and also in every single crochet stitch that we made in the last round. So you're essentially just putting one single crochet in each stitch around. And you are going to be doing this for a total of 4 more rounds. So just move your stitch marker as you go and do a total of 4 more rounds, and I will meet you back here. This is what your piece should be looking like. I wanted to show you, because we made a chain for the strap, it's only going to look like you have 4 rows of your strap. But if you look at the body and you count those rows, it's going to look like you have 5. That is correct. So I'm going to show you how to do an invisible join. You're going to fasten off, remove your stitch marker, and going from back to front with your hook, grab that loop that you have remaining there and pull it to the back. And then you're simply just going to fasten off like you normally would. Go ahead and weave in your tails, and we'll get started with the next part. You are going to go down a hook size. I'm using an eye hook, and I'm going back to my main color, which is what I used for the bag body. You could change it up and use a completely different color to add a little more depth. It doesn't really matter where in the bag that you join, but I like to join down here at the crease so it's a little less noticeable. And just join with a slip stitch, and we're going to start our detail work. So chain 3, and in the very same stitch where you joined, you're going to slip stitch, just in that same stitch below. Now you're going to skip the next stitch. So skip the next stitch and slip stitch into the next. And you will chain 3. And in that same stitch, slip stitch once more. Skip the next stitch and slip stitch into the next. Chain 3 and slip stitch into the same stitch one more time. You're just going to continue repeating this process over and over all the way around the bag until you reach where you began. This is what it should be looking like. Go all the way around until you reach where you began, and I will meet you back here. So I'm just going to fasten off. This is where I began. And of course, you would just weave those ends in with your yarn needle. And I also repeated this same edging to the inside of each strap. You just repeat the same process. It doesn't really matter where you join, and I'll meet you back. So this is what your piece should look like. Before I moved on, I did take it to my iron and steam iron it. If you have spray starch, I would even use that, and that'll help prevent it from curling up, and it will also show off the nice detail of your bag. I thought it needed just a little bit something more, so I added a bow to the center. And I went down to an F 3.75 millimeter hook, and I made a chain of 100, or you could just make a chain until it measures about 22 inches or 56 centimeters. Now you are also going to need two 12 millimeter beads or 10 millimeter beads, whichever you prefer. I'm showing you here that I just put it about the 3rd row up or about the 7th row down. And because this piece that we started with was 20 single crochet, I'm just counting over to the 10th single crochet, and I'm wrapping it around those 2 single crochet there in the center. This can be kind of tricky to tell, so I also measure the distance between the bow itself and the outside of the bag. So as you see here, it's about 4 inches from the strands to the outside, so it's pretty centered. I'm happy. Now you're going to thread your beads onto your strands and just kind of leave them there for now. I'm also going to add some tassels to the bottom of the strand here. And what I did was I cut 2 strands of yarn that are about 6 inches long, and I thread them through the bottom stitch there of the chain. And we're going to use these to help secure our tassels. And to make the tassels, you could use a piece of cardboard that's about 2 or 3 inches wide, but I'm just going to use my fingers. So wrap your fingers about 7 times per tassel. And I just cut the tails here to make them even. And just grab one of the ends that you added there and tie them around the tassel tails that you just created. Now to keep these tails from going wild, I'm going to add a gathering knot to the top of this tassel. So cut a length of yarn that's about 6 inches long and create this little loop like I'm showing you here. Just a little bit below the top, you're going to wrap one end around the loop. I think I did it for about 5 times. And then take the end through the loop that you created and grab the opposite end and pull up. Now you're just going to cut off that excess and cut the tassel tails so that they're even at the bottom. And of course, you're just going to repeat to the other side. Once you have both tassels completed, I simply just tied the strands into a bow. And that's it. That's what it should look like. Your Merletto market bag is complete. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.